Welcome back to another episode of Sporvado Sports. I'm Evan. Obviously, I'm doing another solo pod. Obviously, we haven't been able to get all of the guys back together recently, but I just wanted to be kicking out by myself for a while now. But obviously, I'm going to be going over, all the recent NFL moves that this offseason has brung, which are so many, different changes and stuff. And we'll go to which currently is going to happen. There's March Madness right now. Texas Tech, Virginia, Michigan State, Auburn. No one projected that at all, especially Duke not making it. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is like not, this is straight crazy. But obviously it's something new. I kind of like it. Honestly. There's, having a 5 seed in there. Obviously the Ducks didn't make it all the way. 12 seed, we got close. We almost beat Virginia. So close, so close. But hey, the women's team, shout out to them, going to the Final Four in Tampa Bay, my hometown. So I guess I'm excited to see where they how they stand against Baylor, which would be a tough matchup right there. So good luck them today. But yeah, starting off NFL offseason, very very interesting. So obviously right off the bat, Odell Beckham to the Browns. That was just straight there. That just like the I don't know out of no, like that was very interesting to me. Um, well, obviously we knew Odell Beckham was having a lot of rough starts. A lot of tension was building with the Giants organization. Um, Even with Eli Manning. Eli Manning was a great quarterback, 2 Super Bowl champions. Don't get me wrong, but obviously he's in the huge decline right now. Um, just like Peyton. Peyton, he won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, but you can definitely tell. Excuse me. His throwing accuracy and his arm. Well, his accuracy was on point, but his power wasn't as good as before, and he was underthrowing balls, and it was getting a lot more interceptions from Peyton. So obviously the frustration there as a top NFL wide receiver, Odell Beckham, and you're doing all your best you can do, and nothing's happening. But so obviously that trade happened. The only thing I was upset about is that the Giants didn't get much in return. Obviously I'm an Eagles fan. I'm fine with that because they got worse, a lot worse. Because Odell Beckham, you think it would get a couple first rounds out of that thing. Because Odell Beckham, that's you gotta get a lot in return. But they got Jabril Peppers and a couple picks, and it was not like because they got Jabril Peppers. I knew that because Landon Collins left, and Collins left to the Redskins. So it was expected they wanted a safety, and Jabril Peppers is a young safety on the rise. So that was nice. But overall, I thought they would have got a lot more. And Odell Beckham's an unbelievable star. You can't. That's a no-brainer. No-brainer at all. He's a top star, and he deserves better. But overall, Odell's gonna be a better team, a rising team, the Cleveland Browns. I'm so happy for them because no one's against the Browns at all. No one is, and they've been through so much just losing. It's just been hard for them. So everyone has sympathy for that franchise. So I'm happy for them. Obviously, I'm an Eagles fan, but I want them to succeed. So looking at the roster, you got Baker Mayfield, Chubb. Obviously, they got Kareem Hunt. Obviously, not a good addition to me. Obviously, he's talent-wise unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, but obviously the history, beating up people. That's you don't want that. You don't want that at all. And it's just really hard for. I guess the Browns are making a chance. After he will come off his suspension, it's going to be a payout for them in dividends. But overall, you want a good media. Just a good visual image to media. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It may work out for them, and then we'll be like, hey, we took the chance, we did it. And Kareem Hunt is going to a bunch of therapy classes that are trying to improve and get better. So even though he did something horribly wrong, he's still trying to make advances to control his anger and fix himself. But yeah, and the major thing, the big headline is Odell Beckham with Jarvis Landry. Those guys they played in high school against each other, but they were best friends growing up. And then they played at LSU, and then now they're playing in the NFL together, which is unbelievable. I love it. I think it's great for the league. And the Nike commercial that was released about Jarvis and Odell, I suggest you guys watch it. I love it. It's a really great commercial by Nike. this is a great touching commercial that talked about friendship and being together. I love that, and it was about their Odell and Jarvis, and it was amazingly done, unbelievable. Um, so I love that. I really did love that. So it was just something that I really liked, and I'm excited though. I'm really excited to see how this Browns team will play out. Obviously, they are on the rise, and with Bradley Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, some of surprising wide receivers. Antonio Callaway's on the rise, a receiver that he's gradually getting there. David Njoku, and then obviously Baker Mayfield leading the pack, a rising rookie quarterback. See how he'll do. He did good his first year. He did really good his first year, but you never know. He might have a sophomore slump. You never know. I'm saying I love Baker Mayfield. He has a really great attitude, very strong leader. But you never know. See what happens, how he performs his second year. But now he has more weapons around him, so it may improve his overall dividends. But so we'll see about that. But overall, that's a number one point there in the NFL offseason. Really huge that I needed to cover. Next, I was talking about the Nick Foles. Being an Eagles fan, I was sad to see him go. Don't get me wrong. So it's just obviously I wanted us to franchise tag him so we would get something out of him, but we did not. But obviously it was to respect of Nick Foles, because Nick Foles, he deserves a lot more money than we were paying him, because he was a backup getting paid as a backup quarterback. And if we franchise tagged him, he would have kept that salary. So since we let him go into free agency, he was able to get that max deal with the Jaguars. So it's kind of like a respect to him, like, hey, you did a great job for us. We would thank you. Get that big deal. Go out. So now he's with the Jaguars now. So I'm excited for them, the Jaguars, because obviously they've been having bad luck with Blake Bortles. And that team's already stacked. That team's already built. And Bortles already led them to the AFC Championship against the Patriots in before. And obviously that didn't work out, and then had a slump the next year later. So they wanted a new change. So Nick Foles might be able to change that around and change that just like super quick and fix that right away. So it's something you want to see, and I'm really happy for him as a quarterback because I think he's very underrated. A lot of people have the conversations like, should we keep Carson Wentz or should we keep Foles? But obviously we're thinking about the future because Carson Wentz is much younger. And Nick Foles, he is still 29 years old, but he's still getting up there, and it'll leave us in the little, because people wanted Nick Foles because Carson Wentz does have an injury issue. So it's just a lot of iffies, that might happen there. So obviously we're just going for Carson Wentz. You just got to stay healthy, and the Eagles should be fine. If they stay healthy, we're good to go. So next up, we got obviously the chaos in Pittsburgh with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, so we obviously knew they were going to leave. So, Antonio Brown, Raiders, and Le'Veon Bell, the Jets. I liked Le'Veon Bell going to the Jets. It was a great, add to the Jets. They need another offensive oomph, little, pizzazz. Because, Sam Darnold's still a young quarterback, and giving him that all-star running back is going to alleviate so much pressure off of him, and he's going to ease in much more into the game much better. Okay start season, don't get me wrong, but it's something you want for him. So I'm actually happy to see how Sam Darnold progresses with a star running back in the backfield for him. His Jets are on the rise. They're a team on the rise in the AFC East. Because the Patriots, Gronkowski just retired. So even though the Patriots, I feel like, will still, be a top team, you can definitely tell there's, this is not going to last. This franchise is not going to last forever. Brady cannot withstand forever. So the AFC East is they're preparing. The other teams are preparing like, okay, this is the fall of the Patriots. We can probably win the division later on. So it's gradually getting there to that point for the Jets and even the Dolphins. But the Dolphins got rid of Tannehill, which was pretty interesting to the Titans. Because obviously they're trying to get a quarterback, the Dolphins. But at the same time, the Titans having Mariota and Tannehill. But I think Mariota is going to keep the spot in Tennessee. And then also Antonio Brown to the Raiders. That was a pretty good pickup for the Raiders. They are still in rebuild mode. Obviously, they got rid of a lot of players like Amari Cooper, Khalil Mack, a lot of controversial things why they gave him away. So I don't know. We'll see about the Raiders, but I think it's a good pickup because it might give Derek Carr, it gives Derek Carr another great option at wide receiver to throw to. So it's just I don't know. See, obviously the team is not fully built yet, so it won't be a top team. But at the same time, Antonio Brown got with that team because he was traded to that team, but he's liking it because obviously they're going to go to Vegas soon. That team's going to be in Vegas, so that's Antonio Brown type-esque city that fits his attitude spot on. So I'm actually really happy for him to join that team as a main foundation, and we'll see where it goes from there. There's the speculation in the NFL is just a lot of ifs and a lot of changes. That surprised me. I'm really excited. See what things happen. The Eagles added Malik Jackson to the defensive tackle. Great addition. Just small moves after that. I thought those were the top highlights with Odell, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Nick Foles. I thought those were the major players that will make a major impact. Well, Tyrann Mathieu to the Chiefs as well. I forgot about that. Tyrann Mathieu to the Chiefs. That's another great addition because it's just building onto the Chiefs as well already to what they already a stacked team. But they're already having issues with Tyreek Hill now. See if he might be in trouble though of getting fined or suspended. We'll see what happens with Tyreek. With all the controversy that Kareem Hunt now Tyreek. So we'll see what happens there. But going on from that was a good ending point for there. So obviously there will be more things that will happen because we got the NFL draft coming up soon at the end of the month in April. See who will land. Kyler Murray, who's gonna and we're got Dwayne Haskins. Will the Giants go for Dwayne Haskins? I don't know. Obviously this doesn't look like that. I feel Dwayne Haskins will fit that offense way much better, but we will soon tell. And Kyler Murray going to the Cardinals. You got, Cliff Kingsbury as the head coach. That's a guy you want, at the head. Obviously, there's a lot of questions about him because he didn't do as good as the last couple seasons at Texas Tech. But I think it gives that young flavor to that team because Cliff Kingsbury is that young he's a young coach, brings that a lot of vibes to it. And, obviously, I think even though he's denying he wants to keep Rosen, there's no trade talks with Josh Rosen, not going to get rid of him. I think they're going to definitely try to go Kyler Murray as their quarterback because he's another pizzazz running quarterback that's going to fit exactly into Cliff Kingsbury's offense. So, besides that, March Madness. Texas Tech, Michigan State, Virginia, Auburn. So those teams right now, congrats to them for making it to the Final Four, especially Auburn being UNC. Great job. And then, too, just overall, it was a great tournament. Obviously, a lot of brackets busted because Duke losing. Obviously, I had Duke winning it all. I did good the first two round of 64, round of 32. I did really good. But overall, I wanted Duke to win, but at the same time, I'm a Ducks fan. Obviously, I wanted the Ducks to win, but so I feel bad for Duke now. At the same time, because they had the top three. Oh, Cameron Reddish, he was top 3 in the country, but he did fall back a little bit. But Zion and RJ, that team was supposed to win the whole thing. Those two guys. Zion Williamson is unbelievable, and that guy's going to get one of the biggest shoe deals in the world when he gets in the NBA. He's an unbelievable player. So even though he loses, he's not going to go to win an NCAA championship. That guy's going to have an unbelievable NBA career and NBA titles in front of him in the future. This guy is just another LeBron James type player that you just know. That guy's going to succeed. So, and that's why it hurt with a Duke team because they had Coach K and all these star players, and they were like, okay, this team's definitely going to win. There's no way. And they ended up losing. And that just showed you just wow, we couldn't even win with the number one of the best players. That could have been one of the best players ever. So that I feel like that will hurt a lot of Duke fans and Duke people that support Duke, because it didn't work out well for them in the end. But it just happens. You just gotta accept and move on. And even game like the UCF game, UCF and Duke, that was a good win. Taco Fall and Zion Williamson, and even Coach K. I respect Coach K because he's like, oh, they deserve better. The UCF deserves to win that game. We got away lucky because you see like Duke was they were winning games, but they were getting lucky at the end. They were getting close to keeping it close, barely winning. So it was just very interesting. But at the same time, it was just it happens. You're gonna get knocked off because there's a lot more upsets in college basketball because smaller schools, they're going against these top 5-star recruit underclassmen, freshman, sophomore guys, one and dones. But these small schools, they have like 4 or 5 year seniors. Like their whole lineup is just a bunch of seniors. So they're much older, mature guys going against these young, immature. They're talented, but they're immature. They're not there building up in their, not immature mentally, but just gradually getting there. They're not fully developed in their game, but they're getting there. They're top players. So so that's why there's more upsets in college basketball because that's just the imbalance and the fact that I want to see they're already putting the interest too. Adam Silver, they're going to be talking about this in the NBA offseason about eliminating the one and done rule, so people could come out of high school, and I think that's a good idea, very good idea, because even though I don't like the one and done rule because I feel like they just need to go to college, I think it'll make it much harder for people to get the NBA out of high school now because since they only played at high school level talent, even though they could be number one in the country, they'll be more keen and more cautious by scouting that player or drafting him because it's like you never know that transition from high school to NBA immediately because obviously you make the exception for like Tracy McGrady, LeBron James, those guys are unbelievable. Even Kobe Bryant coming out of high school, that mature, that going ready, getting immediately right there. So it's like you never know. So obviously like people coming, let's say that the high school for next year, they top recruit. He oh yeah, this guy's gonna be amazing. This guy should go to the NBA. Blah blah blah. Like okay, like a scout for the Pistons, their number one pick or something. This is all theoretical. He's like, oh, like this guy's top notch, but we don't know yet. Even the other guys that are projected in high school, they're like, he'll look at him like, okay, this guy still has played high school talent. He hasn't played college yet, so I don't know if we should draft him. Because even though the one and done rule didn't exist, in the years past, there was probably like 1 or 2 high schoolers, or maybe one at least, going maybe a couple years in a row, or just a year off. It wasn't like every year like 10 high school recruits was going to draft. It wasn't like that. So I think that it won't harm the NBA. So even if they don't go out of high school, they're going to go to college and they have to go to stay more years in college. So I'll be fine with that. And it'll kind of make people more focus on, okay, let's try to okay, I'm in college now, might as well stay longer. If they didn't get picked out of high school, it'll just give them a better chance. Just like, hey, let's just might as well stay in school, or maybe you can go to the G League, and even if you get disappointed, you don't come out of high school, you can just go right to the G League, get paid money, or in China. Obviously, China, in Europe, you'll get paid a lot more, but you'll get paid a lot more money. I'm like, you get to go overseas, you still be professional basketball, and you get just drafted like Emmanuel Mudiay. He did the same thing. He went to China. And look, he's solid. He gets paid right off the bat out of high school. Come on. There's a bunch of options you can do. So it's just even if the one and done rule goes away, it's just there's a bunch of options for the players so they don't have to be rushed or pushed into anything. So I don't have an issue with that. So we'll see what happens there. So, there's a lot more topics going on, but overall, support to the March Madness though, and overall with Texas Tech, Auburn, Michigan State, and Virginia. Good luck to them. I want UVA to win it all for the Final Four teams because I have roots from Leesburg. I grew up a little bit in Leesburg, Virginia, so support to UVA and have some friends that went to UVA. So good shout out to them on chances of trying to win it all. So it'll be good for UVA and things. So, but all the other teams too, Auburn, Michigan State, and them, and I don't Texas Tech. I won't be against them winning too because these are all like, well, Michigan State has been a top team in recent years, but Auburn and Texas Tech, like these are teams that like, hey, they haven't been here before. Even in Oregon when we were in the Final Four against UNC, we lost. Um, it's just like Oregon. Oh yeah, my gosh, we haven't been there in a while. We're the first ever team to win the tournament, NCAA tournament. A lot of people not know that we have the first title. It was like 1939, I think, and it was super long ago. Obviously, no one cares about it because it's that long ago. But hey, we won the first ever title. But so we have one title. Ducks do one, number one. But hey, next year will be better. We were 12th seed, and we got that far. So, it was a lot of surprises for the Ducks. And you imagine if we had Bol. That could have been a title team right there. If we had Bol, because we made it that far without Bol. That was pretty good. So, shout out to the teams. Hope they do good luck to them in the March Madness, and good luck to the women's Ducks team today. And hope they win in my beautiful hometown, Tampa Bay. So, good luck to them. And that'll be it for today of episode of Sporvato Sports. And you guys have a great day.